50 years in business and are one of the county's best-kept secrets with competitive loan and savings rates as well as discounts to national retailers. They currently serve over 16,000 members in the area and welcome you to come and experience the benefits of membership as well, later on in 3 webinars. More information will be given at the end of today's presentation. Lastly, a recording of today's session will be available within 2 days. Details will be sent to your email following the presentation. And with all that being said, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Charmaine Williams, and I will be your presenter today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. A 2014 joint study by the Urban Institute and Consumer Credit Research Institute indicates that 77 million Americans, 35% of adults with credit files, have debt in collections reported in their credit files, with an average debt amount of $5,200. According to the Federal Reserve, Americans spend $1.30 for every dollar that they earn, so they're overspending already. And the average American has at least 13 credit obligations, 9 of which are credit cards. So a few warning signs of having too much debt are you only make the minimum payment on your credit cards each month. You have at least one credit card that is near, at, or over the credit limit. You are occasionally late in making payments on bills, credit cards, or other expenses. You use cash advances to pay other bills. You bounce checks or overdraw your bank accounts. You don't know how much total debt you have, or you don't have any savings. So a few ways to gain control of your money. Firstly, you want to develop a budget. There are 4 steps when creating a budget. You need to gather all of your income along with all of your expenses and then do some math to see where you're at. But I'll get more into budgets in more detail in the upcoming slides. The next is you have to track every penny that you spend. So every time you spend money, write it down. Even if it's for the latte you bought or the bag of chips at the gas station, you want to account for every cent that you are spending. You have to start an emergency fund. It is recommended that you have at least 3 months worth of living expenses in a savings account. This way you are prepared for an emergency and won't have to depend on credit or those short-term high-interest loans to get out of a bind. And lastly, you want to automate your finances. I saw on Bankrate.com that we're the only industrialized nation with a negative savings rate. That means people are spending more than they make. Now remember what I said at the beginning of the presentation. We spend $1.30 for every dollar that we earned. Next, you want to fund your retirement. There are a lot of people out there who don't have any money invested in their retirement. So you want to take advantage of any employer-matched opportunities, such as 401k, and also look into IRA, Roth IRAs, or even MIRA. You also want to educate yourself. Financial education, such as this, is a great place to get information and tips on how to manage your finances. There's also earning additional income. If you ever feel that you've completed your budget and accounted for all of the money that you're spending and things are still tight, then you may want to look into earning additional income. So from part-time employment to selling things you no longer use, and also in some cases medical research. And next, you want to get out of debt. Now, you may feel that this is easier said than done, but if you have a budget in place and you can account for where your money is going, then you can make changes and start to tackle that debt. And lastly, change your behavior. You need to take a close look at yourself in order to know what is going on and what steps need to be taken to fix it. You have to remember, it all starts with you. So Prince George's Community Federal Credit Union is a great place to get a financial checkup. If you have high interest auto loans, high personal payments, or high credit card debt, you want to contact them. They have a number of solutions to help you achieve your goals. So speak with a member service representative so that they can walk you through some options that could save you hundreds over the life of your loan. Contact your local branch and speak with a representative today. Now, I spoke about having a budget, and a lot of people feel that a budget is restraining, and it really isn't. It actually does the opposite. It puts you in control and helps you achieve your financial goals. Remember, those who can account for their money are more in control of it. So now I'm going to go through the steps of how to create and maintain a budget. So remember, 4 steps to make up a budget. The first one is add up all of your net income. Now remember, your net income is what you are bringing home, not your gross before taxes, but your net. So any income that you have coming in from your job, a part-time job, child support, if you have any rental properties and you're collecting rent, Social Security, etc. You want to add up all of your net income. Next, you're going to add up all of your expenses. You have 3 different types of expenses. Fixed, which are expenses that don't change on a month-to-month basis. You have to pay them, i.e. your rent, mortgage, car payment, insurance, etc. The next are flexible expenses. Those are expenses that, yes, you still need, and they vary from month to month. So groceries, gas, utilities, credit cards, etc. And lastly are discretionary expenses. Those are things that you want but do not necessarily need. So if you want to go to the movies, restaurants, get your hair done, go to the barber, get your nails done. So those are things that you want, again, but not necessarily need. So you want to add up all of your expenses. The next step is totaling it all up. Once you've added up your expenses and you've added up your income, you want to subtract your expense total from your income total. So you'll either be in the positive, or what is known as the black, or you'll be in the negative, which is known as the red. So if your expense total is more than your income total, you want to prioritize. You need to decide what steps you can take to reduce your monthly expenses or ways to earn additional income. And you want to prioritize your money. Think about what will positively affect your life in the next few years. Okay, so creating a budget is really simple. You just need to sit down and tackle it. Now you need to know your spending patterns. To get a clear picture of how you actually spend money right now, it may help to keep a spending diary for a month or 2. So that means saving your receipts, writing down the items, and the amounts for everything that you spend. And again, it could be from the latte at Starbucks, or you had breakfast at Dunkin' Donuts. Maybe you did buy a bag of chips from the gas station, or even the vending machine. You need to write it all down. You want to keep track of everything, and then you'd be surprised at how much money is going out on the little things. People don't realize how much they're spending on smaller items. Okay, if you add it up, $7 a day in snacks, drinks, whatever, over the course of the year, that's over $2,500. Doesn't seem like a lot on a daily basis, but if you were to put that $7 a day away every day for the year, you'd have a nice little savings cushion, okay? So you want to write it all down and keep track of everything. So this is your spending step by step. You want to pay your monthly bills, obviously. Set aside money that you'll need for your weekly and day-to-day expenses. Put money into savings. Set aside money for larger expenses that you know are coming. And if you begin to earn more, increase the amount that you save as much as you can. And also, once you realize you're knocking down that debt, that extra money that you were putting aside for debt before can go into your savings account. So I hope all of this is making sense. So here are a few reasons that personal budgets fail. Okay, they fail to prioritize their expenses. Now again, we want to go through the items that are necessities first. So your home, your rent, your mortgage, your transportation, your food, your utilities. Those are necessities in order to survive, okay? Buying the brand new pair of shoes that you saw at the store isn't a necessity, okay? That's things that you want. So you need to prioritize your expenses. People fail to budget practically for normal out-of-pocket expenses like groceries and gas. And again, those are things that you need. You need gas to fuel that car to get to and from work. You need groceries to fill your household, to feed your family and yourself in order to survive. They fail to plan for the unexpected. Again, no savings cushion. They fail to include quarterly or annual expenses. So maybe you own a home and you pay taxes, but you don't pay every month out of your included in your mortgage. You wait till the end of the year, but then you're not planning for it. Are you putting that money aside? And then at the end of the year, you have to come up with all this money for your taxes. So you need to include all of that as well in your budget. And then again, spending more money than you earn, which at the beginning, I already said, that's what Americans do. So we need to account for all of our money. Now, according to Forbes.com, these are some steps to a better financial future. The first one is know what you're saving for. You need to have a goal in place. What is it you're working towards? It can be a home purchase, a new car, to be debt-free and financially independent. So you need to figure out what it is you're saving for. And the next step is make sure that your savings goals are SMART. Your goals need to be concrete. They need to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and they must have a timestamp on them, so a date that you need to complete it by. So make sure that your goals are SMART. The next step is find ways to reduce your expenses. So unless you plan on bringing in additional income to achieve your goals, then you will need to find ways to reduce your expenses. What can you cut back on and still live comfortably? Usually the cutbacks will come from discretionary expenses, like the things that you want, but they can come from the other two as well. So maybe you're renting an apartment, but you don't have to spend that much. So when your lease is up, possibly you could move. So these are the things that you want to look into. The next step is pay yourself first. Okay, when it comes to savings, pay you first. Direct deposit into a savings account, always do it. Remember, automate your finances. Set it and forget it. Okay? The next step is consider escalating your savings over time. So it's recommended to save 10% of each paycheck into savings. But that can't always be the case for some. All right? So you want to start small and gradually build as you continue to budget and see where you can make cuts in order to increase your savings. Now, you don't want to rob from Peter to pay Paul in order to start a savings account. You have to make some changes and make your home more, I don't know, maybe energy efficient and save $20 to $30 a month on your electric bill. Then you can apply those to your savings funds. You don't want to take from a bill that you have to pay in order to start your savings, all right? And then the last is stick to the plan. You set the goal, you put the timestamp on it, and now you have to stick to it in order for it to happen. And remember that it won't happen without hard work and dedication. So those are things that you need to pay attention to. Here you want to decipher, again, your needs from your wants, okay? You don't want to live beyond your means. We all want to be debt-free in 2017. So this is what this is about. Your financial checkup. What are you doing? What is it you're working towards? Okay? Yes, we all want to eat healthy and we all want to live in that nice big house with the pool and the jacuzzi, but it's what you can afford. You have to live within your means and live within your income limits. And again, once you start budgeting, you could see where you can cut back. Okay, maybe you don't need to go and get your nails done every week. Maybe you don't need to go to the barber every week. Maybe you can scale it back to twice a month or something. So figure out your needs and your wants and then work towards getting that budget in proper place. Now remember, savings is the key to success. If you can't afford the 10%, you want to start smaller and work your way up. okay? Nothing happens overnight. It takes work and dedication, but you have to remember that yes, you can do it. Again, once you start your spending diary and you have your budget and you see where the money is going and you see what you're doing, you'll be able to make those changes. Okay, I have people tell me all the time, I can't afford to save 10% of my paycheck every paycheck for savings. I can't do it. I don't have it. Some of them tell me they can't even afford 5%. But I'm like, there are ways to save. There are things that you can cut back on. When you're going grocery shopping, use coupons. Love coupons. They save you some money. All right? Turn the lights off when you're not in the room. Shut the TV off at night. Turn the AC off when you're leaving the house for the day. You know, stuff like that. There are ways that you could trim and cut when you're working out your budget, when you're working out your spending diary, that you're like, all right, well, maybe I do this too much. If I cut back on this, I'll end up saving myself some money. Okay, so you need to look into it because this is for you. It's not for me or anybody else. It's for you. So I'm hoping that all of this is making sense, and you have to remember that, yes, savings is the key to success. Okay? Now I'm going to introduce Charmaine Buckner from Prince George's Community Federal Credit Union, and she's going to talk to you a bit about the financial checkup promotion that they have going on at the credit union now. Charmaine, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? Well, Charmaine, thank you. Charmaine Williams, thank you so much for guiding us through looking at our finances as we plan for 2007. And from a credit union standpoint, all of our guests that are on the phone today and on this webinar today, I just want to make everyone aware of the tools that we have available to help you accomplish your goals in 2007. And one of them that we have is a financial checkup that you can do with a member service representative and just pretty much look at all of your debt that you may have at other financial institutions, look at ways that you could refinance with our organization to possibly get a lower rate, and then also, too, just kind of looking at some of the savings tools. But let's take a moment, Charmaine, and kind of click onto this financial checkup so that our guests today can kind of see how this tool works. Now, the financial checkup promotion that we have going on right now is that if you come in and speak with a member service representative and or use our financial checkup tool on our website and open an account and get a loan, you'll receive a $50 gift card. If you come onto our website, we're just going to quickly show you where the tool is on our website. So on our home page, when you scroll down to the bottom right, there's a button that says Loan Saver. Charmaine, can you click on that for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
All right. On that page, it tells a little bit more about the financial checkup, but moreover, there's an actual calculator that's on the lower portion of the page. In this calculator, if you have debt at other financial institutions, car loans, motorcycles, signature or personal loans, home equities, whatever the case may be at other financial institutions, you could put in the dollar amount of what you have, your interest rate, if you know your interest rate, the term, and then click the green calculate button, and it will show you potential savings that you could save with our financial institution. And what happens, you can kind of play around with the calculator by clicking on the various tabs and putting in the information, and then requesting savings at the end right there, that last tab. And what will happen is once you fill out that last tab right there, someone from our organization will reach out and contact you to walk through a number of solutions that may be available to you so that you can have that extra savings in your pocket every month to put towards your saving plan. Now, to back up a little bit, beyond the financial checkup promotion that we have going on right now, we do have a number of tools that will help you to save and to, just like Charmaine just put it, mentioned it earlier today, automate it, set it and forget it. Try to automate your saving financing for the year. One of the major tools that we have is our Pot of Gold product. It's a very popular product that members like to take advantage of. And what happens with a Pot of Gold product is that you can allocate how much that you like to save every paycheck, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever the case may be. That amount then sweeps into a savings account and it earns a certain amount of dividends. Charmaine, can you take a moment?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? I'm not sure if it's on this page. They could actually, our guest here today can actually reach out to a member service representative or give us a call, you know, at the end of this webinar to learn a little bit more about that actual Pot of Gold savings. And I encourage everyone this year to just take a moment and look at what your goals are for this year. And your action step would actually be to reach out to one of us here at the credit union and have a discussion to see exactly how we can help you, direct you toward those steps. Thanks so much, Charmaine.
Not a problem. I have a question here.
Yes.
It says that you get a $50 gift card when you get a financial checkup in person or a loan. Is it either or like do you have to get the loan to get the $50, or if you just do the financial checkup you get the $50 gift card?
If you apply for a loan, so you're going to get, yes, so you earn a $50 gift card when you do 3 things. Do a financial checkup, open an account, and apply for a loan. And that's
Okay.
before the 28th of February is when the promotion ends for that. That's a great question.
All right, cool. Are there any other questions for either Charmaine Buckner or Charmaine Williams, myself, that we could answer for you before we continue or before we end out the presentation? I don't think anybody else has any other questions. Hold on, let me see. I don't think so. I think that was it. All right. Are there any other questions? Yes? No? Okay. Well, thank you, Charmaine, for letting us know about that.
Thanks.
Okay. So we're going to continue on. I just want to thank everybody for attending. Okay. Thank you for attending today's educational webinar. And to learn more about Prince George's Community Federal Credit Union or to speak to a member service representative, please visit the website on the screen, www.princegeorgescfcu.org, or call the number that's on the screen, 301-627-2666 or 800-952-7428. So we would like, again, to thank you for attending today, and we hope that you found it very informative. And to schedule your free 60-minute financial coaching session, please call Coffee at 866-459-5165. Okay, that's 866-459-5165. Thank you all again.